Salve, Regina, Mater misericordiae.
Today is the commemoration of St. Paul as a part of the solemnity yesterday of Saints Peter and Paul. Yesterday's solemnity focused more on St. Peter and the readings. Today we focus on the life of St. Paul, of his untiring dedication to our Lord and his service. And he says here that it was God who called him by his grace to preach his gospel. And that's really underlines the whole life of St. Paul, the grace of God. Otherwise, what he did was really superhuman, traveling around the known world, then 3 times on foot and by ship, establishing churches and going back and visiting them, sustaining them, writing letters to them, suffering all kinds of persecutions from enemies everywhere he went, and knowing that he was going to face more persecution, imprisonment, beatings and scourgings, and he says he suffered shipwreck 3 times, was stoned to death almost once, and all kinds of sorrows that he underwent, and sleepless nights and hunger and thirst. All of this he endured for love of Jesus Christ and by the grace of God. And he talks about his weakness, which is really a paradox. He talks about his weakness, and yet he was able to do all of this. So if he was able to do all that in his weakness, and he prided himself in his weakness because that's where God's strength showed forth to him. If he did that in his weakness, what excuses do we have not to do the will of God, not to carry our crosses, and to do our duties and fulfill God's will in our life? There is no excuse. We have God's grace available to us, and he offers it to us, and we just have to ask for it, and then we have to cooperate with it. We have to cooperate with it. We have to be simple as doves and wise as serpents. We have to run the race, fight the fight, and run to the finish line to get our crown. We have to do our part, exercise our will, be faithful to God, and trust in him to the end. And we can all do that, and we do it to the end, not on our own power, by the grace of God and the help of Our Lady and her, the consolation and encouragement we get from our union and confidence and love for her.